I'm spending a lot of my time here in the Digital Signage Federation booth because, as you know, I think my legacy for the year is membership. That's my focus. But while I was there, part of what I was doing was a lot of these, my little Cohen on contents, which they started so I could rant and not be yelling at the people that work for us. So I did 12 yesterday with 12 different executives. And my question is, what do you get out of being a member of the DSF? 10 out of the 12, the first thing they talked about was the educational seminars. And we talked about the certifications for their employees and how now it's getting to be almost a given that when we're looking for new hires within the industry, we're looking for people that are already certified because there's enough of a pool now. But in that conversation, this one lady says to me, DSE, and I said, yeah, DSE. I said, we're very busy building and running our network. And it's a quick service food, I forget which. And we talked about, she said, I don't have time to talk to software people and screen people and media player people and all of those. There's just no time to be actually building and operating a network and trying to acquire the parts to manufacture the network, to build it. She said, so I have to come here. And I spend every minute on the floor seeing and hearing about what's new this year. Very frankly, if they're not here, and this is for you guys, if they're not here exhibiting, they don't have a place in her office. And we're talking about a huge network. So I thought about it myself. So it's the same thing. I don't think I've bought from anybody that's not an exhibitor here, simply because I don't have time. I don't have time to have those conversations. So we have to see everything here. The technology, okay, the functionality is basically the same. It has to be year in, year out. These are the functions. But how fast they're performed and how small the parts are that are performing those tasks, then how big and how clear the screens are getting. Every part of the system is getting stronger, better, faster, cheaper. I saw things this week. I'll give you one. I won't tell you that it won't do a commercial, but I actually bought from them 4.5 years ago, and I paid $650 for a particular item that they're showing right now as bigger, better, and faster for $99. But that's what I think is happening, is the technology is getting, as I said, bigger, faster, better, and cheaper. If you ask me that question every week, I'll say this is the week that it's best to get into the industry. If you ask me the question again next week, it'll be that week it's best to get into the industry. Because it keeps getting, as I said, better, faster, cheaper, clearer, all the parts. But if you're a QSR and you're facing all the regulations that they're facing, you can't wait. You don't have time to wait. What are you gonna do? Print another 50,000 menus and 100,000 signs? When you put your digital screen up, you can continue to change all your values as needed. A friend of mine runs one of the biggest hospitality networks there is. Says to me night before last, he said, we're to the point now where we're able to measure unit sales and move our pricing structure based on measurement of those unit sales. I can change pricing with a new show coming in, an old show going out. The rooms are all sold, less rooms are sold, the bar is filled, whatever it is. That data is moving through, and it's so easy to capture, and with the digital screens, we can take advantage of it. That's why you need to be yesterday. Next week will be better, but you need to be yesterday. I say next week will be better for technology, but you need to be yesterday to be in the business. The benefit to us, to our industry, is to have more involved, more engaged executives. The benefit to our industry is for those educational factors to be training the next level of staff, the next level of management. But what's the benefit to somebody to join? Well, the one thing that we did, and I think we were smart by doing it, we kept the dues to next to nothing, and then found ways to offset the dues. You're a network operator, you probably tipped more at meals this week than your dues for the year. And with things like if you're an exhibitor, you get the discount, when you join the first time, you get that discount, or if your booth, it more than covers it. The discounts for the sessions more than cover it. So we eliminated the objection of, well, the dues. Now we get to what's the benefit? Train your people and network. Look, I probably spend as much time negotiating deals with the other members on things I need to run my networks as I do my staff. So it's the benefit. We just have to continue to put the features and benefits out in front of the affiliated, associated businesses to build that membership. The game changer is got to be touch and integration. We went from the original place-based media folks, we were all forced into the visuals only, full motion video, but no audio. Because you remember, well, you don't remember, but back in those days, you had to use a television. There was no such thing as monitors. And televisions had speakers. And the speakers were not directional. So evolution happened. And we got to where we could use full motion audio as well as visual. Evolution continues to happen. Now touch is so important in every one of our, not everyone of course, but into the industry as a whole. But the next one is, I don't want to touch it. I just want to wave at it. And we're seeing that here on the showroom floor. So I think it's the interactivity and then the integration that we're seeing. From my perspective, messaging, where commercials can be developed, commercials can be produced by the creative agencies, and they can be modified so that they go across multiple screens. And they integrate the smartphone screen, the digital signage screen, your PC screen, and even that ancient medium called television screen. And I think the integration is a big deal. My grandkids can already operate it. You just put it out there right now, and they'd be using it. I'm overwhelmed. But yeah, Rick Ventura showed it to me to start with, and I was just knocked out. I see it coming quick. The mergers and acquisitions business is well and growing in our industry. And that's about all I can say, because everybody learned how to write NDAs now, so you have to sign them for everything. I walk the show, I look at everything. When something pops, then I stop and talk to them about it and learn about it. And what I'm doing is I'm figuring out how am I going to integrate this between now and say 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or a year. There's nothing that I can grab today and implement within my networks tomorrow. So this is really my 3-day base for my whole year's planning. And I think you'll find that that's the case with most network operators. I'm Phil Cohen, Care Media Holdings Corp. I'm also chairman of America's Minority Health Networks and the Spectrum Health Network. But within Care Media Holdings, we have our pediatric network, our OBGYN network, and the most fun is our veterinary network. In our business, we still have to convert probably 17,000 of our medical offices are still on DVD. And we've only converted about 6,000 and change so far. So we've still got a long way to go. And that's what we're talking about. All of this new technology has to be integrated into those systems. This show is so important to us as a mature series of networks, but continuing to grow. If you were starting a network or being tasked with starting a network, you've got to be here. You've got to be here, you got to walk, you got to meet, you have to talk to everybody. And you should join the Digital Signage Federation, of which I'm chairman this year.